Bonsoir. Good morning, Afghanistan. Boy, what a predicament we are in over there. And Iraq, what a predicament. The whole Middle East now is what a predicament because some stupid movie, which it's in the news now, so I'm not going to talk about that much. But you know, those people hate us over there. I've been saying it all along. They do not like us. None of those people. When we send, we have to remember, we did not support in the air campaign against Libya, but we fired in 125 Tomahawk missiles at 1.25 million apiece. That doesn't include maintenance or fueling, and 125 of them. Stocks went up because if you had stocks in these high-tech companies that build the components for these sophisticated weapons, I mean, they can only be used once. It's just beautiful. It's just freaking beautiful. I mean, a guidance system that costs $100,000 can only be used once in these missiles because it blows up. It's a beautiful investment. There's no better investment. And we sent 125 of them initially, probably more throughout the duration of the Libyan campaign. We've done the same thing in Sudan, all over Africa. Man, we just don't hear about this stuff. We blow the people up. The people are tribal, and then not only does the family of the people we've blown up hate us for the rest of our lives, but the whole damn tribe most of the time hate us for the rest of their lives. Why do you think you think that this Islam and this Sharia law is such a horrible, god-awful thing because of the way they treat people and there's no human rights? But the thing is, these guys like it more than they like the American way. Let's face it. That's why they're doing it, and it's exploding. Americans can't understand. Why would they want this? Why would they want this? But they want it, believe me. And it did. It started only with people being hungry. This whole Arab thing, but it was a powder keg just waiting for a catalyst. That's all. And it got one, just like everything else. But only this is serious. Now we're going to be sending drones in. Another great investments, man. We're buying drones by the dozens and dozens. And you know where most drone technology and a lot of the drones are actually built is Israel. Believe it or not, look it up. In Israel, you know, what are they doing over there, man? They bought all these submarines from Germany, and the Israelis jewed the Germans down. The Germans wanted $1.2 billion for each one of these, and the Israelis jewed them down to like 800 million euros. The Germans pretty pissed off about that, and they outfitted these Dolphin-class submarines with, and some, I think, the Leviathan-class submarines, which is a strange name. They outfitted them with the capability to fire the Tomahawk missiles that the United States provides to Israel for free, and on the tips of the Tomahawk missiles now are going to be nuclear. And I believe each submarine can hold about 28 of these things. And the Israelis now have about 12 or 13 or 14 of these, and they're just out there protecting those oil fields in the Mediterranean that, you know, Cyprus wants to have claim to, Lebanon wants to have some claim to. I think Syria actually wants to have some kind of claim to. So we'll see. That's another thing that's going to play out, and then nobody's talking about that. But unemployment here in America is god-awful. People were swept under the rug again. The unemployment numbers actually went down because so many people were swept under the rug. But the problem with that is every month there's people swept under the rug. 100,000, 200, 300, 400,000 each month that are just, they quit looking for jobs. Well, what are they doing? I mean, what are they doing? You know, you just can't stop working. You can't stop pursuing. You know, the need for money is so great just to sustain your life. You know, you don't have to have a great life. You have to live under a bridge, but you still have to go out and beg for money to have food and things like that. And these people are still looking for jobs. They're just not counted. They have to bring those unemployment numbers down, and everybody knows it's a lot of propaganda. It's all the government spinning things so they can look better during the campaign. And but in the meantime, it's just more human suffering and the degradation of the human spirit. I mean, that seems to be the whole goal, is to make humans, is to degrade the human spirit down to the animal level, and then destroy it from there. But it's the suffering on the way that these people that are in charge of all this, that have caused all this, is what they enjoy, the human suffering. Like Miss Clinton said, we came, we destroyed, and we killed, you know, when they killed Gaddafi, or something like that. She said that, and you think, you know what, this is a society that that celebrates death and murder and destruction. And now we have this guy, this Navy SEAL guy that wrote this book, and it's just like the movie Wag the Dog, when Dustin Hoffman is the director of this movie that they're trying to sell because the president had groped some children in a school, a 16-year-old child or something like that, when they were doing some kind of tour of the White House, and they were trying to get the subject off the president and on a war that they just made up with the Albanians, and the Canadians even got involved there for a while. We were saying they were going to attack us, but they had the people were getting suspicious because they were seeing all this war on the news, but they didn't see anything else on the other, anything from other countries or any sign of really a war going on. And so he said, we'll create a hero, and it'll bring the people's interest back in the war, and they'll back the war in the United States again. And that's what they did here with this guy that shot Bin Laden and wrote the book. It's Old Shoe. That's what they called him in the movie, Old Shoe. And it was some deranged meth head from prison, played by Woody Harrelson. It was really funny. And this was made back in the 80s, I think, these movies. I haven't seen a movie in years and years, but I remember this one. It's called Wag the Dog. And that's what's happening right now. They're wagging the dog. People are losing interest in the wars. People were wanting Ron Paul. Even my conservative relatives, all of them, Bible Belt conservative, man. And all of them would have voted for Ron Paul. I can't believe it. We don't believe on anything. We don't agree on anything else but Ron Paul. And it's amazing how this Ron Paul thing went from the young to the very old to everybody in between, man. Democrat, Republican, independents, and it was just stopped dead in its tracks. But I get off these subjects when I start them because this is a time of I just kind of think. My mind wanders on the way to work here. Beautiful day out here on the island. But back to these wars, we just made a hero of this guy. He's going to sell this book. People are going to buy into it. He's been on 60 Minutes. I didn't watch any of it. I don't read any of it. Because I know it's just fake. It's just wag the dog crap. They want to get people back into these wars because look, we're starting more of them. So look at the timing. Look at the timing of this Old Shoe coming in and being a hero to get people's interest back in the wars. Well, I'm going to work, and I got a downshift here, so this is Duck Out. My thoughts this morning on Friday, September 14th.